Okay, so let's begin today's session go over it properly. Let's have an open conversation around decision making in psychological aspects. First, what do we understand with the psychological aspect of decision making, and how do we think this ties into what we're doing and how it's going to benefit us? Anybody wants to go?
Good morning once again. By psychological aspects, you are referring to the emotional processes, the circumstantial, the circumstances that shape your thinking when you are making a decision. This is my understanding. It is basically a neurological reaction to decision making. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor. Anybody else want to contribute? Okay, with that in mind, I will bring Prof to the podium to dissect this one through for us. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good to see your faces fresh. That's one of we stretched ourselves yesterday. It was enjoyable today. Today we are probably going to do a little more than that. But I assure you that it will be interesting. I want to begin an interesting section, and we will try not to use too much of negatives, something we can use with. The psychological aspects of decision making. I will give us a background. The background is when we say there's a psychological aspect. We have an interest in this. What is psychology about? It's essentially studying the mind, the way it functions, and the behaviors. By doing that, we're also going to look at the conscious and the unconscious aspects, which is about the thoughts, the feelings and the thoughts. So, I believe that we're going to use this aspect of psychology to help ourselves and help those we work with. So, you are not a psychologist, but in psychology there are instruments for psychological evaluations. There's a follow-up of a psychological report, and that report is supposed to guide you on what next to do, either as the doctor that is attending to the person, or the person who you are working with. Even if you are not a psychologist, naturally you should be able to know the psychology of the person you are dealing with. It appears that some of the frustrations that we are passing through, when we make recommendations,
we'll find you.
It seems like some of the recommendations were frustrated about that was not considered. We didn't incorporate psychology into those recommendations or decisions. So, I will also, in the course of this lecture, stimulate us and challenge us to ensure that your recommendations takes into consideration the psychology of those you are dealing with, whether above you, with you, or beneath you. If you just do the right thing will not work. You need to garnish it and present it in such a way that it will achieve the goal you want to achieve. Psychology is part of that. We are trusting that some other time, in the APA, we have the opportunity to do a training along influencing. That's when you actually let it play out. The elements of influencing those decisions that you have recommended to make sure that they are done. The second aspect in this foundation we are looking at is the psychology of decision making, translating it to decision making. What we are looking at is the cognitive process, irrational and irrational components. It simply means the reasoning behind selecting option of action you want to do. And that means that your option is what you believe or the course of action you want to take in the midst of many alternatives. So, like sometimes you see a decision, you begin to wonder what is the reason behind this decision. Because you're not the person who took that decision. But to the person who took the decision is very reasonable. Alright? And then I want to go further than just saying psychology of decision making to talk about, to use this statement that in the process we are looking at decision making process as a reasoning process that is garnished or influenced by the values, sorry, can we remove that, the preferences and the beliefs of the decision maker. If you do a recommendation to someone and he's going to take a decision, did you consider that even with all the reasoning put into the recommendation, the person is going to take that decision will use his values, his preferences, and his beliefs. So by the time you begin to disagree with somebody, it means that you people do not have the same psychological base. So you have to find a meeting point. The company, the person is the boss, may have his way. But when it comes to implementation, the person you gave the decision does not necessarily agree with you. You will see it in implementation. Because it's not what you are telling the person that you will see executed. Although there might be punishment or whatever following it, but essentially the decision maker has failed, isn't it? But on the other hand, we are saying that when we begin to look at how we use this psychology, you find that to be able to select a decision maker, you need to look at the psychology of the people you are going to select. It means that if you just pick people arbitrarily to take decisions, you are going to see a decision that reflects your selection. Alright? I don't know why my screen is running for me. What's that please? Okay.
What would you use? This one?
I'm here.
Alright. So don't worry, I'm trying to work on the slides.
Okay. Alright, so I will just keep going. Now, the next slide that I want to go to, can we use my slides and just let me know when we was good? Is to look at the elements or the tools or the techniques in the psychology of decision making. The tools of the psychology of decision making is split into two categories. Either you are going to use decision making by an individual or technique by an individual, or you are going to use a decision making in the technique of a group. Alright? In the technique of a group. What's the problem? Why is it keep running?
The slides are not
Can you control the running of the slide? Then I'll just tell you next slide and you do it. That's all. But I want you to follow what I'm saying, okay? Yeah. Now, I want to tell you, why are we emphasizing psychology in decision making? It's been found now that if decision making is essentially, go back one slide. I'm not going to do this. Okay, this is where I was. If decision making is about making up your mind on the choice you prefer, the mind factor, we say we are studying by psychology, is a major factor in deciding. So, in looking at the word effective decision making, we are essentially saying that we are dealing with a good mental health. We are dealing with a sound mind to be able to use that sound mind to make the choice. So don't forget that some persons will not be mentally well, but they may be in the position to take a decision. And when we say mentally, we are not saying mentally healed. They may not be balanced mentally. Imagine someone that is very emotional about something. At that time, you give him a decision to make, his emotion will take that decision. So what we are saying
The
is,
CEO that a lady CEO that handled the thing.
yes, it will always reflect. So before we go into the techniques, when I finish with this, we will talk a little before we go into the technicalities. So I want us to agree on the few things. Number one, psychology of decision making is the role our mind and our behavior play in decision making. And we are not saying that if we have to make a choice, our feelings and our thoughts must be put into making that choice, which is the psychology. But we are not saying that psychology itself has a cognitive process. That means there is a rational or irrational process going on in the mind that will make a selection. So by the time somebody is rational and he took a decision, you expect an effective decision. By the time somebody is irrational and he took a decision, it's still a decision. It just means that somebody else will try to reason with you, it won't make sense. But you are taking a decision. That's what we are doing. So eventually, decision making is about the mental state of the person. So a good mental state or a sound mind definitely give you an effective decision. That's what we are doing. That's what we are talking about. That now takes us to the next stage. Decision making techniques can be an individual taking a decision or a group taking a decision. Alright? It can be a group approach to decision making or an individual approach to decision making. The point is that if an individual is taking a decision, it is the cognitive process, the reasoning of that individual alone that we use to take that decision. Then if a group is taking a decision, it is the collective reasoning of all the individuals in the group that is taking a decision. So the next level I'm going to go to after we have discussed it is to know which one is advantageous and which one is appropriate at what level. But the next thing I want to quickly say is that because the next section we are going to have is on health, I just want to lay this foundation that when people are sick, this statement you are seeing is a published material evaluating chronic disease and how they affect our psychology. It's been found that when somebody is chronically ill, his physical health and his mental health is impacted. So if you are not well and you are working in the office, I'm very sure that most of the decisions and actions you are now taking are already influenced by your illness. So if MPA want to do well, they must always constantly try to assist their members to make sure that their staff that they are always in the sound state of mind. And unfortunately, MPA will not walk up to you and say, "Is this mind sound?" Those who work with you, like our brother was saying the other day, should be able to know whether the person they are dealing with is irrational or irrational, and know whether it is safe to put delicate things in this person's hand, knowing that the way he now needs it. Like he said he noticed that some individuals, he said the other day, that the way these people are behaving, this group of persons,
they need mental evaluation.
because I know by doing that, you have helped MPA to identify people who have issues with their psychology. And it's not supposed to end up being a fault because we all drift at one time or the other from one mental state to the other. If your house situation they don't go well before you get home, you didn't come to the office with the right mind. Think now, you can even transfer your aggression to people. And if they put a fight for you to take a decision, that anger from home can actually affect the decision at that time. Your emotions is now playing out. So let's not remove the fact that the psychology of the decision maker is what determines what decision will be. and we have now agreed that if somebody is chronically ill, it's most likely that he will be absent from work, and it will affect his mental health, and mental health is more significantly affected in illness than the physical health generally. In other words, the person looks so well, but is mentally sick, but you don't know.
So we are even talking about NPA. What if you need to go country to this person?
Well, the truth is that you cannot solve the country, so you probably may be able to make a difference in NPA.
And you don't go.
No, but she didn't specify anything. So I have laid the foundation. Let's discuss. I have laid the foundation. Make a comment. Like Kowalo said, it's all about the mind, the decision making. Now I've related the mind to the decision, and I've related the mental health state of the mind to the decision. And I've also related that sick people, research has shown that they will likely miss work. And not only that they miss work, that sickness, maybe hypertension, can eventually affect his mental health. And ultimately, if you don't do anything about it, it will not affect his physical health. But you may not see the physical health yet. There are people who carry high blood pressure without knowing. It's when they sleep into coma physically, they don't know that they will carry the disease. So can you be looking at you that they have headache? And that headache was a sign of the high blood pressure. But when you are telling them to do things there, they have headache, they are just rushing or abandoning things. The mental state is already being disturbed, but you cannot see it. Your problem is someone is being emotionally disturbed and is being told to do so many things.
It's a medical doctor.
Yes.
So you said that you talked about the mind, the physical well-being.
Yes.
What is the case of placebo effects in all of this? Because you know that the person is going to say, always and they don't say this water, there's something inside, and they say, oh, I'm feeling well. You understand?
Well, you are not only answering the question. Because one that we're able to move, that the person has a condition that is not
the person that knows you now know that. It's not the doctor.
the person doesn't know, you see, the one man does not know his man. In fact, the man, whenever that person is man, he's the only person that is not. So we don't know. That's why I can walk in the street, we can challenge him. So that's why the doctor comes to talk to him. That is the doctor that will not tell you that this person is not well based on the instrument for evaluation.
I think that's more often than people who are reproduction who are, or let me say that they don't know. But that's what they call insight. If somebody walks into your office or they bring the child into the consulting and they begin to tell you,
What else?
they begin to tell you, say, okay, tell me this about. I know said I'm aware that this is what happens. The problem is absence. So we got the insight. If someone has a mental illness, agrees that there's a problem. The problem is absence. That's the way you know it is solved. But more importantly, the things that even the person does not recognize, or the environment does not recognize that is a problem. We can start from something like hypertension. People have high blood pressure, especially very chronic hypertension, that's been going on untreated for a very long time. In the brain, they develop some kind of problems. They call micro-infarcts.
Yes.
These micro-infarcts uses the blood that goes into your brain, the different parts of the brain. It impacts on it. And the cerebral part of the brain that you use in reasoning and thinking faculty, the one you use to solve complex problems and several other things, they affect it. Such that if you are carrying this kind of hypertension for the past 5 years of control, or you are not taking your medicine adequately, if you are conscious enough, you realize that there are things that you can't even recall. Your reports are poor. You leave a key here, now you are forgotten. It happens in people who are old as age. But even before that, as Christina it can happen faster for people who have this type of body problems like hypertension. You are forgotten. You know that, okay, this type of drug, you know it is used for something like this, you know, you try to record, you can't get it. It's not coming. One of your staff that is always talking with you, want to call the person, say, please come and say, what is this person's name again? Who is it? I mean, they are quite boy, or, you know, that kind of thing. This thing happen with people, and a lot of times it's because the blood flow to their brain has been reduced or constrained after a very long period of time. So if I was to be taking a decision where you have control hypertension for a very long time, you see I'm kind of think I major. So it's clinically these are things that was like profits.
Thank you very much. So by the time you start to use the placebo, you already now know that it's not an organic disease, it's a mental state, and you start from there. Then the doctor will decide that after the diagnosis. Yes.
I want to say, I want to just ask if you notice maybe your boss is having something like that nature, that something is off.
Which of the bosses?
What any boss that probably you are seeing that something is happening in that regard. What help are you doing because it's your boss and maybe you don't usually have access. So how can you help that kind of person? What can you do?
So let's try that for 2 days. Remember that if you go one step back, one house, yes. One house. We agree that there's interpersonal relationship before we go together. The boss that you can live with, even in terms of professional base, you can also suggest what can help the boss, and he knows that you mean well. However, if you cannot suggest, you will adjust to the psychology of the boss. To know that when they say, kill that person, you may not know what he's saying. So you will not kill the person first. You wait because you can come tomorrow and say, when did I say that? So you already know that you are doing somebody that is not conscious of even what he's doing, that is in charge. And you are not in position to remove boss. Well, I'm not going to say something, but 2 things he said that I like. One, on one hand, the attention can cause irritation in the cerebral, in the brain. On the other hand, there's no cause senior dementia. Age can be changing the way the brain is working. You understand now? You start forgetting, and it start it's not coordinating very well again. Especially in our system where people reduce their age and they are in charge. The man that is sitting on that office said that he knows 55 years, is actually 70 years old. He's now listening that he's 70 years old and he's in charge. He's not sick, he's just old. Do you understand that? He's not sick, he's just old. So what are you doing? Prof, are you sure that's not the challenge we are having since culture? No. Officially, they are not old. If they present themselves as good, accept in the clinic that they are old, cannot have advised them. But your paper, we will not our life, we will not let them know what you do, sir. They don't get these two people when they report to you. So that they will help you to do the work. See, we will put people like you as first person. What you do, you need to rest. That's what we do in faith. You are still in charge. If you tell the person it's good,
Being very phrase to what Madam Maram said. Was it Okay, thank you. You know, that sometimes they realize that something is wrong with giving your boss or your colleague in the office. Yes, or junior or people in your office. And then you know that it's affecting your job or something like that. It presents some problems. Because it's something as you know, that's not that you are a doctor, there are things that you don't know for sure. But you know that this is affecting this person. And you know, our society also, the way it is, if you say something now, they will say that, oh, you are the one that's putting somebody in trouble. I think that this is a situation that one have to be very practical when you want to do something. Because the person you are seeing there could be, it's not just a problem to the people to himself, but it will be a problem to the people around him too, which can be involved in. As doctors, what we do, we're ethically bound when we see that a colleague of ours is not, what he's doing is not actually correct. If it's a one-off thing, you can go behind and let the person know so really that this diagnosis or this decision that you are taking is not the right one, and this is what I want. You should look at it and try to correct it. But when it's not a straightforward thing like that, and you know that this person is actually a problem, or what he's doing is not correct, you are bound to report to the authorities around you that this is not going well, and the person has to remove from that session. You are, once you have realized that you have seen that, you are ethically bound to do that. How this works amongst administrators or the administrative point of view, I don't really know. So people who know what should be done should throw more light on it. Because things like this actually, they are bound. And people are fond of hiding their colleagues in the office. Even if they know they keep quiet, and you begin to have any job and friends in the world.
Well, I'll give you a hint. Two things that was happening. Number one, administratively, somebody is in charge of that staff and should be able to evaluate his staff and recommend for management to do something. But practically, the final recommendation will come from the doctors. They will have to do a health evaluation. Even if somebody is falling and shouting, that is falling and shouting does not mean that it's not. He may not be having seizures. If you don't be seizures, it's not that it's not. Somebody can have typhoid psychosis. And you'll be pursuing mental illness. Well, what is the problem is having typhoid affecting the brain. So you don't let the doctor decide whether this person is not well, not you. If you do that when you are not in the position to evaluate, you can end that trouble. Alright?
But when you say evaluation, when you are in the position of that wait, but because of your mental state, you evaluate to the wrong.
Who is it? The doctor or the
You say your colleague now.
No, you cannot evaluate. You can only recommend or draw attention. Because you are observant of those who work with you. That's what we have been yesterday. That interpersonal relationship means that you care about the person who works with you.
Sometimes.
Doctor, is that medication?
For we will get there. We are seeing psychology. We are not
Sometimes yes, that is the importance of personal secretary or personal assistance. Sometimes they will come to you and say, sometimes they will come to you and in confidence and say, oh God, you need some time to rest. You need some time to rest. Sometimes when they see a decision being carried by the boss and that decision is not correct, they will, they have the time. They come and they draw your attention to that, without others knowing, and they quickly reverse the decision. Another issue I wanted to, like what Madam said, in chronic stressful conditions, the level of hormones becomes so high. You discover that the person is affected, sleepless. The brain is affected. He's having sleep problems. He has eating problems. He's eating too much, acts weight, the blood pressure increases, and then diabetes will set in, and so many things. And then you find out that at some point, they will find it very difficult to memorize things. They will have memory loss, very little thing they will get lost. At a very critical stage, sometimes they will really get lost in their house. Yes. You're in your own house, at some point you discover that you don't even know where you're going. This is medical, this is psychology for you. So, in such cases, you know, in civil service, the medical people would have to do a lot about this, draw the attention of the management. Sometimes when you are overloaded with a lot of stress, so many things can happen.
Those of us in Lagos, that category.
All right, so on one hand, I said there's an administrative approach. On the other hand, there's a medical approach. Okay, we'll go back to that. But the point I want to bring out there is, what do we do? There are two things to do. Like he said, even if you can't talk to your boss or your friend, there must be somebody in that office that they are close to. You can approach that person and say, look at what I'm observing. I don't know whether you're observing this thing. And that person, if he agrees with you, you can easily present it to his friend and will not be seen as an offense. And most likely will not mention your name. He will talk as if he's the one observing this. So approach is good. But the second way, which is what we have abandoned in this country, every system is going to have health evaluation at least once every year. Now everybody's going to do health screening. It is during training we pick up disease and so you don't know. The office, the medical office is supposed to have a report for you every year that you are fit.
Yes. Sorry.
When they don't know your BP, they will know your mental state. Then they will not recommend the management official. You cannot talk. They can tell you that the stress is too much, they should give you some time off. They can tell you change the person from this office to the other office, he cannot have this stress. Yes. It's standard procedure. Is that answer your question?
That periodic medical evaluation that he's talking about is very, very important. In oil companies like Chevron, LNG, those people, if you don't do this, then you don't go on leave.
But I do hear that.
That's what NPA say that we should be doing actually. And only very few people come. Before you know how they sign their leave forms and they collect their money and then you have to show up. Or somebody in the office somewhere or Oracle would have arranged voting for them, they take their money and they go on their leave, you never get to hear. Somebody will need to 2 weeks until you complete the six weeks. Even when they come to the clinic, you say, okay, but before, in places like Port Harcourt, I know there's a page on the leave form that you need a doctor to sign. What is that we sign for them again? We sign at last medical examination, if you are fine and all that. Yes.
It's part of the policy.
Yes, that's the policy.
Yeah. Before you go for any leave, annual leave, at least once a year, you must undergo a comprehensive medical examination.
But realize that our staff and officers are the first people who will contravene this thing. In fact, some people even dodge it. Because it's okay, you need to go to the lab, do this test, do this, let me examine you. They say, Doctor, I'm well. He say, no, I'm not signing this. He say, why are you doing it like this? You turn around and go to your junior doctors and get this sign and then he goes away. So when I even bother to sign this, they know what to do when you go to that meeting. And it is done. But if one say this, I just want to appeal to people that it is nice to do this thing. You see a lot of things that we see here. If only we use some of the evaluation of some people, many of them will pick them on time. And once you pick it on time, there's a lot to for that person. For ladies, there are different things that are supposed to do. How you come around the examination that we do for you. If we pick these things, for men, I'm not mentioning the specific conditions in the index, they are common. Or if I must, for men, you have to do prostate.
We are still assuming that we are well, so that our mind is disturbed.
So
I'm not even here. How will you
Okay, sir. Sir, I think the medical.
take a note as I about to comment. There is a routine in NPA to do medical evaluation.
Yes,
People have been waiting and we can't blame them because they don't have a forum like this to know why they must do it. They saw it like a disturbance. In fact, nobody, even the government setting will employ you without a medical check. Before you get employment, there should be a baseline medical check. That is a violation. People don't do it because they think you are just making it hard. And at the end of this session, we want you to convey to your staff that it is for their own good and for proper decision making. Please go ahead.
Okay. Like 3-4 years ago, when I went to the hospital, they told me I went to the clinic and I checked my BP and said the reading is high. I've never experienced high blood pressure before. I lost my dad and lost the sister, and I think that thing affected me so much. So from there, each time I go to the clinic, they say it's very the reading is very high. You have to place you on medication. I said, hi. They said once you start taking this high blood pressure drugs, you cannot reverse it. I don't want to take it. I think what is worrying me is because I lost my dad, and shortly after I lost a sister, and then they talked of it, and I was blaming myself somehow. That is there anything that I could have done differently for that? My younger sister, she's the last one. Is there anything that would have, because she was with me for some time before she traveled, and then shortly after she died. So I was saying, is there anything that I missed out when she came to my house and all that? From blaming myself, that was how BP came. And then eventually I just said, okay, start giving me the drugs. I was taking, but not very instant. Then after a while, I noticed that sometimes I will forget some things and all that. We got to the stage that we got Jinko by Lobe and started taking. So that's why I wanted to know whether every year I go for checkup, but not before leave. I go begin.
Thank you very much. We will go back to treatment of diagnosed diseases, other things. Now, in psychology, we don't think you are sick. We are just looking at the way you reason and your emotions. Okay? Truly, when you're going through that, it must have affected your decisions.
Yes.
And mine is just an observation. Thank God we are here and we are getting this knowledge. I also see this opportunity to talk to the doctors around here that awareness, so let people that get that awareness. When we get back to our various places of work, we should make efforts to let the management know that we have to create awareness on this particular issue that Dr. Agbo just mentioned. How important it is for us to undergo medical checkup, and that in short, as a matter of fact, they should make it a rule that you can't proceed on your leave without bringing evidence of that examination. Thank you.
Actually, what you said, that's it. When I was in
like this situation.
When I was
the point is this.
When I was in
something that happened yesterday.
Yes.
A junior officer, the principal manager, had an issue, and the principal manager was transferred out of that location. So it's the same thing that we will go through again and again. There are people that will use connection to cut on that. In the system.
Because they don't get just like
No, but
that state of that for evaluation. For them to know whether
in an ideal situation, it's supposed to be like that. No, not only in the entire Nigeria, it's supposed to be like that. For as long as you are going in for a service in any organization, you're supposed to go through that medical. If you go to the military, you will see the undergo medicals before they recruit you. So, and it's supposed to be in every organization, which I know. The system has been corrupt.
Alright. The point is that I'm giving you. The point is that if you are aware of why the system says you should do it, you won't get it. But you may do it out to yourself.
Good morning.
morning, my senior colleagues and distinguished colleagues. Please, I want to make an request. I think we should minimize our going out and our coming in because it's affecting the program. Please let us minimize it. Thank you.
Let us stay
Okay. Yeah, she made mention of that. Yes, I know that when I was in River Sport, I started to advise management on the periodic annual medical examination of all employees. The same thing I did when I went to Delta. We wrote to management. Thank God my port manager just walked out. He was bearing a witness. I wrote to him and I told him, and then he graciously approved it. And then the system, we started conducting periodic medical exams. However, there are some situations, especially in some departments, when we notice through our record and statistics that a particular disease is common among the staff of the department. We draw the attention of management. I still remember when we had about 3 incidents of cerebrovascular stroke. 3 consecutive, at least monthly, within a month time. We had about 3 strokes. And we discovered that almost more than half of the staff are hypertensive. And they don't come to the hospital. They don't. So these are the things. And we wrote to management, we advised, I think that recommendation was escalated to the headquarters. And the whole division was asked to undergo a comprehensive medical exam. I'm aware.
That's a positive one. So we are going to move to the next level. After you.
I think we should differentiate between a sound mind and a sick mind. When it comes to somebody who is sick, it's different from the psychology that we're talking about. If you don't, an unsound mind definitely will affect your decision making. There is no doubt about it. What I'm trying to talk about is we should not associate solely to unsound mind. It's the options that you want to select from to make a decision. Are they a reliable options? If you don't have good options, you will not select a better option. If the options before you are not a better options, then the best option of not so good options will not give you a good decision, no matter your mind. The second part is your selection method. Are they reliable? You have a better option. Then how are you going to choose the best option among the better options to give you a better decision? So in the process, the psychological part of it should not be taken in isolation. It is very, very difficult because there are other things that will directly affect your decision making. As I mentioned before, the options before you and the method of selection.
Thank you. Well, I want you to know that from the perspective you came from, you must have a sound mind to know whether you have good or bad options. Yes. So, but I like what you say, that psychology or a mental state that is not stable does not mean that you are sick. It just means that something has happened to those conscious and unconscious components, which is your feelings and your thought process is being altered, which is the psychological elements that we are looking at in the person that's going to take a decision. But if somebody is having a chronic disease, you can narrow it down to say, It is that disease that is behind the disturbance we are seeing. You understand? I'm leaving that statement there because the next session we are going to have to do with health. But for now, we are looking at a good health will definitely translate to what? A sound mind, isn't it? And a health that is compromised will lead to a mental state that is not stable. And if care is not taken with time, it can become a disease of its own. Alright? I will agree on this. I want to go back to this very point we have made. Decision making techniques. You want to make comments? You want to make comments?
I just went for what you said.
Yes.
Most times I'm shocked. Most times I'm shocked based on antecedents or our experience or even the structures that have been in place. So if there are bad structures which agrees with what you say, bad options, you just have to make do with what you found on ground. Or if you are very, very revolutionistic, you could just disrupt the whole system and turn it around and do something better.
Also, there's one inside to control to decision. Look at it. The ability to use previous decisions and experience to guide the decision making. Instead, okay? But let me tell you, it is a decision if all the options are not good enough. That's also a decision not to take a decision. Do you understand? Don't take a decision because you don't have a better option. Take a decision because eventually the option you pick is still feasible. If it doesn't meet the original output, the issues and the needs you want to address, you take a decision not to take a decision that's a decision. Do you understand? It means that the analysis you have and the options you have is not appropriate. You want to work with the wrong analysis. You go back, that's why a review is being done. You go back again and start redefine the decision. Look at the context, look at the options, look at their consequences, and try to come back to options that will work. Do that process over and again under a review before you cross to stage 7, which is to take action on the option you have chosen. Now I want to move to the next stage. We now know that a good mind or a sound mind will help us to take effective decision. We now know that our state, our emotional state and thoughts are elements of psychology that is at play when you are making your selections. There's one thing I did not emphasize, although it's written there, is the word belief. Belief. It influences even your decisions too. In other words, like he said when the presenter started earlier, your experience over there, the culture, the build-up, is going to play a role. Those ones are not psychology that jump in and jump out. That's your psychological makeup. That's your pattern. And it's definitely going to. So let me put it like this. Let's assume that we have a particular emotion, feelings, and thought associated with you. I prefer that than to be pretending. Because if you keep drifting between one pattern of feeling and one pattern of thought, you cannot be useful for categorizing the person. It means that you are going to require frequent evaluation for us to know whether you are fit to do what we are recommending you for. Yes, I like that. Yes, it's like a mental thing of bipolar. So if you are bipolar, you are not at all, you are not of any, so you are not fit for what we intended to choose the person, the decision making you are supposed to play a role. So I'm looking at now the technique. A decision needs to be taken, and either an individual or a group will take that decision. And within that individual or group, they have a psychology. In other words, an individual have a psychology, but a group have a combination of individuals with their different psychology being put in place to take a decision. Which technique should we use? It will depend on the scenario or the context of what you want to achieve. So let's now look at the next slide. In this slide, there is a common saying that says 2 heads are better than 1. Have you heard of that before? Please, the one that I commonly know is 2 heads are better than 1. But people have now realized that 2 heads does not make a difference. So they step into one. 2 good heads. Who chooses the good? I don't, within the context of what I'm allowed to present, I'm not taught to look at ethics of decision making. Did you hear what I just said? I will not be permitted to look at ethics of decision making. If we go into that, because you have used two good heads, let me give you a preamble. Ethically, there is neither right nor wrong. It is a perception. That very decision that you say, but this Nigeria that you are saying everything is decayed right now, this is the best time for some people in this country. If it changes, they will not like Nigeria again. Some places are looking at it. Some people are making so much money. They are doing so. If you change the situation in Nigeria now, they may go back and leave. They won't like this country again. And two of us.
There are many people.
While you are criticizing management, there are people that say this is the best management we have ever had. So what is right or wrong? It's by perception. Ethically, you choose morally. What do you think is right or wrong? Moral ethics is what I'm looking at now. So if somebody is collecting all the contracts, collecting all the money and people are dying. Somebody is selling fake drugs, people are dying and making money.
But it doesn't make it right.
It doesn't see it as wrong.
No, we are saying,
you are seeing it as wrong.
We are saying, for example, the fuel scarcity. There are people
making money now.
And they enjoy it.
And there should be scarcity.
So that is what you are saying. Does that make it? It's not right. There is a standard by which you could live.
So that's why, like I said, it's not part of the discussion for me here. I'm looking at moral ethics. Okay? But this is the point I want to bring out. I have to stay with the word two good heads.
If you are looking at moral ethics, that's what we should talk about.
Yes. So wait. I was told to talk about psychology. I wasn't told to go into ethics and moralities. You understand? That's another expert approach to it. I'm saying with the fact that because if you go into ethical and moral issues, you go beyond an individual. You go into culture, you go into the party. But now in psychology, you are dealing with an individual. Okay? Even when we say group decision, as you will see later, that group is made up of individuals with a psychology. Okay? That's what we want to narrow down to for now. But the point I want to bring out is, I can leave this statement here, two good heads is better than one. Sorry, I can leave two heads are better than one. I did not add the word good because whether it is good or bad, some people will have to decide that. Do you understand that? To qualify whether the head is good or bad becomes a moral and ethical issue, which I don't want to go into. But we are looking at it. Let's just on the surface see it. It seems to me that there's an advantage of two heads to decide something than for one to decide it. Two good heads. So now we have now said, let me just leave it the way we have concluded it. Two good heads is better than what? Better than one bad head or one good head. Which one is it? One good head.
Two good head. Is this better than one good head?
Better than one good head. Okay. So now the key thing is that in the psychological techniques of group or individual approach to decision making, there are certain factors, characteristics we see there. We notice that in group decision making, everybody subsumes themselves into the will of the group. Alright? We find that in group decision making, they are able to take decisions that have more risk than an individual will take. That is because the group decision they took, each person contributed in taking responsibility for risk. They brought different perspective and brought more details to review and came to a conclusion. Compared to an individual that may not even do much rational thing inside. And if you look at something from the surface, say it's too dangerous, you leave it. But before a group, they can look at all ramifications and still take that big risk because they have different perspective to a decision. So technically, the group is beginning to have an advantage here. But you will find that it's not in one scenario that you can use this skill. Okay? We also found here that if an individual is taking a decision, it is quick. It doesn't have to consult anybody.
If we consult anybody, technically it's a group decision. Alright? Except otherwise, the final decision is still on the person. So everything he got was just process and analysis. But the decision is resting on the individual, the psychology of that individual. Then, it's been recorded that in individual decision making, in entrepreneurs that take decisions, okay, in businesses, they found that in some cases they've done well. The bureaucracy and the rest did not stop them from achieving what they have to achieve. But it's also found that most times they cannot take very big risks, and they can also make mistakes very easily because they don't look at all the perspectives to the matter that took the decision. So far, we have found that the group decision has an edge over the individual decision. However, there is what we call group take. It's in your book. It means that whereas group has the advantage of accepting divergent view to come to a consensus, if the group cannot agree, then you will suffer another problem. You will have indecision. Or, like in this case, when we say group team. If group come, they agree, but they agree under peer pressure. They agree because they want to conform into what their colleagues want, and with a short-sighted element in it, and under the pressure or stress, they just say, my judgment, I deserve it, let us just do it as we want. Group team can actually lead to a bad decision eventually, because they actually did not use what you brought them to do. You set up a committee. They did not make a compromise. Instead of listening and coming to a conclusion that was rational, they actually took a decision based on sentiment and peer pressure. It can still happen in a group. That's the point we are trying to say. No matter how beautiful it looks like a group decision has an edge, two good heads are better than one. You can see two heads not being able to agree. One can succumb to the other one just to control. And at the end of the day, it's only one decision, one person's head that was used, not two. Yes.
These two.
So we'll take comment here on this.
These two good heads that we're talking about, how good are they? Because good is also a relative word.
See what I'm saying? So these are where
how good?
According to the scientific definition of all the
because one may be good to me, may not be good to you. So which is why the good to is personal.
No worry, anything good is good. There's a way I treat your suggestions and comments here. I see that's your opinion. Yeah. And I'm not going to argue against it. In fact, I learned from it too. That you brought a perspective I wasn't taking. That is the idea of group decision, isn't it? Let me give you an overview of what is happening here you may not know. NPA gathered this group to change the process of decision making in NPA. And the aim is just one aim. We want to arrive at effective decisions. They did not go to the highest level of management where they never were able to sit down now to take any decision. They did not even be available. They went to individual heads from different units of NPA from different places. We demand that once we reason together here, some are from medical, some are from accounting, and different units in your group planning, we will go with a common position that will move NPA forward, isn't it? Now, that's why I keep telling you that we cannot conclude this and end up like a group take or a decision. We must continue to make a recommendation that will move NPA forward. I took note of the medical report response just now that the policy of medical checkup stands. And the problem with it is not the medical checkup itself, is that people are not aware of how it benefits them. So we should begin to do something about improving their awareness than punishing them for not coming or complaining. Okay? I will say that we have agreed in this slide that there can be a group decision, there can be individual decision, but we cannot completely remove individual decisions that cannot work. There are places where it works. So in my next slide, I want to do a chart comparison. It's also in your slide. Okay? We have found that these individual and group decisions have differences. If we subject them to evaluation,
based on the issues, consensus. There's no problem for an individual to reach a consensus. It's himself. What he says is the consensus. That is the consensus I want to be made. But like a group, we need to, we need to be gay. We need to end that consensus. You don't just arrive at consensus when many persons are ending their view, isn't it? There was some level of discussion we have had here where I stopped it abruptly. Because I know in my mind that we will never get to a point where we all agree on those things, the time will be gone. But I just allow you to say your opinion, they don't say your opinion. After we are not bent on taking a decision on those opinions. So now, the other thing is divergent view. The individual is limited to himself. He's not going to get an opinion other than his opinion. Isn't it? But as a group is able to see different expressions, but we should allow it. That's another problem. You can assemble a group and not necessarily want their opinion. Just say that you came. Don't say anything. So that when you show who attended the meeting, you will say the man was there. But actually the person did not hear you. And if you was able to consider, if you were, they will allow you to talk. And some person will even come to the meeting. I don't know whether I have that slide here. I don't think I have that slide. It's in your book. Where in actual sense, when decisions are being taken, there are really core people taking that decision. There are those who are victory around the center, and there are those who are actors. Those who they just came, but they need our contributions. While some people just say, need your contribution. The real decision was taken by the core. But all our needs were on the list. So if we allow people to express their views, their divergent view can be useful in a group. Then we have the issue of wide range of experiences. The individual is limited with his own experience. If I didn't come here now, I would know that there is a place where the men full time are doing school run. I was even commending myself that I did not allow my wife to stress herself. I said, after all, I'm traveling to the same office. If I compel her to go there, she will burn my fuel and still go to her office. Because women have the work being attached to their children. She will gladly carry her children, they will be chatting. That's the only time I have time for my children. So if I just allow her to be the one doing it, you get to a point, I won't know them again. So then when we close, she will drive from all the way from our office to the same place where I'm working. To carry the children from now around. I just make them so that they can come over to my office. They can stay in the reception or they will stay back in school doing lesson. Sometimes I will have to close and wait for them. This student school now, you will wait for your own child doing the lesson with them. So I will just stay in my office and tell my PA, drive over there, I'm not carrying the kids, let me have some peace. But the point is, I thought I was doing so well when I found men who do the school run. That's an experience that I took that away. Now you mean that there's a place where men are fully involved. So diverse opinion, then discussions. We are supposed to discuss before we arrive at a decision. Will a man discuss with himself? The other element of discussion will not happen. Whatever thought leader is there, that is the analysis. Go to the next stage. But if it's a group, they will need to facilitate it by a discussion. The opinion that would, like what happened on all those issues we brought up in the group workshop we have been doing, the options were before us there. Remember that we did not actually make any conclusion. We did not choose whether a single marriage or polygamous is better. We just ventilated on the different circumstances, what may happen, and I like the question, what's your choice? I will move on. Okay, but we discuss because we were in number. For an individual, there's no discussion. You move straight to decision, isn't it? And then lastly, goals. The goal of decision to be taken is very united in an individual. He knows exactly what he wants. Even if he says a memo, say a committee should look at this matter, he may have even made up his mind what he's going to do. Okay? If it's one person that is taking a decision, he just justifying what he wants to do. But in a good team, we must come to compromise. We must that goal, that decision that is taken was a compromise decision. I don't know whether it will be a favorable compromise or not, because we are looking at the psychology here again. If we are dealing with bad heads the compromise will be terrible. And if the component of group think enter into it, many of those decisions have been taken on peer pressure. No, with short-sightedness, not necessarily because it was the best. Even some of the people by the ring of decision making is in your book. I'm not going to talk about that. It's actually the core people that took the decision. In the academia where I came from, I have professors in my board that were some of them were my lecturers before I became professor. And they are supposed to be my board and I'm the dean. Before I take a decision, I will have to hear them first. Sometimes if I allow them talk first, I will not get useful contribution again. Everybody in their debate department won't talk again. Because of God spoken. The professor is sitting there more than 10 years old, he asked the professor. Then you, a lecturer from the department, the president goes to assess you. He said this is the way the department wants it. That's the end. No contribution from that department.
Is he always right?
He's not always right. But Oga has spoken.
No room for examination.
And we come for a meeting where everybody is supposed to talk. I will allow you to talk. But you know what I do? When Oga raises and says, Oga, you talk last. I will allow them let their view. Then I will not allow Oga talk before I take my decision. Because if I take that decision, even if you are Oga, that's the decision. You understand? But I don't allow, if I want more contribution, I should start from those who may think they will not be heard. Thank you.
So there are two things with that one where I come from. One, it shows good leadership on your part. Now, every good leader understands and knows that it is not on you to be the first person who speaks, because the minute you speak, your subordinates will follow suit. They want to counter you. However, if the leadership is bad, that doesn't mean that the subordinates should not have an opinion, a view, or a perspective of themselves. And in most cases, I find that most people respect those who are able to challenge them, even in meetings, constructively. Take a stand, but don't do it constructively. And when you realize that that argument is going beyond certain level, take it away and pick it up with the boss on the side. But one thing you cannot do is to say because Oga has spoken and you have a different view, you don't speak. Then why are you there just occupying space? What are you contributing? Yeah, of course, it's a Nigerian factor, but that's why we're here, to make sure we begin influencing and changing that thing. Because Steve Jobs, who says the greatest amongst us is the one who speaks least. Listen to everybody, collect more information before they put it out there.
So please take this what you have said. We expect that there will be effective decision in NPA, even if they are not going to take your opinion. Say it. That's why you're in that meeting. No, that's why we started with psychology by telling you that. In fact, let me present myself here now. Yes.
I'm going to tell you this story. I'm going to tell you this story of something I just enjoyed with about this guy, Les Brown, one of the great motivational speakers. He talked about when he was running for a political position, yeah, and you know they go for this council stuff. There was this guy that brings a proposal to the table, and every time he comes, everybody will just go because the guy wins the argument. Les won his first position and came in. He started arguing with this guy. Everybody was looking at him. He was this small boy who was always arguing with this professor who's been here for how many years. That nobody, anytime there's a proposition that comes, and this guy said, I'm taking the case, everybody will just back away. And so before he knew it, his fellow colleagues started coming to him and say, come and argue for us. You're the only one who's able to withstand. Before he knew it, he got to a point where he's 50-50 and then he was winning the arguments. But the problem is most of us naturally limit ourselves and also give ourselves the opportunity to grow because we don't want to engage in that argument. And the thing is, how can Oga even recognize you and promote you when you're not able to show him that Oga, your thinking is not 100%, there's another perspective. And then you turn and say, Oga is not recognizing me. Of course, it also depends on how you approach Oga. If you go and start challenging Oga, you need to know Oga, know the kind of Oga you're dealing with. This comes to influencing. If you're dealing with an authoritarian and you go in there and start challenging an authoritarian, good luck to your job. They will transfer you. But if you're dealing with someone, who's willing to listen, yeah, then you position it. Now this is where influencing skills comes in.
I just telling stories.
Now, rather than saying, okay, you are wrong, I can say, well, I have a different opinion. First of all, it's going to become. I think I have a little thing I want to say. I have a different different perspective to what has been heard. No, I think if we try this, you know,
somebody's making a phone call here. Somebody's making a phone call here. Madam, please, can you step out and make your phone call? Excuse me.
So the way you position things, you don't even position it like you're too confident that what you're saying is correct. Like, I think, have we tried this? It comes like a suggestion. You know, and if that is not taken the first time, you could also go behind and say, okay, I agree with everything you said before. Have you looked at X, Y, Z? I think this could give us a different results. But the thing is, in our environment, a lot of our meetings end after the meeting ends. But in the environment we're coming from, the real meeting begins after the meeting ends. Because that's where the influencing comes in. You will see that we'll finish the meeting, yeah, and they'll call you and say, that meeting we did because someone has gone to someone like, we didn't consider X, Y, Z. And the truth of the matter is, if the Oga wants to succeed and you bring a good perspective of view, if they don't listen in this time, they will respect you because you are able to think for yourself. Every good leader, even the ones that are not a good leader, the reason everybody brings people behind them is so you have people who can help you think and get it right, whether you're good or you're terrible. So it presents to you an opportunity to say, I'm a thinker and I think outside of the box.
Oh, wait, just.
You still want to say what you want to say, madam?
I think somebody said.
Yes, address the issue.
Yes,
address it.
Mine is just very simple. Yes, I know that we have some very difficult bosses, but I also observed that your boss will attend to you based on how you present issues. Some of us, we want to outshine our bosses. So you remember one of the 48 laws of power. Never outshine your boss. Once your boss knows, because there are people who say, no, don't matter, it doesn't mean anything, I do everything for him. I do everything for him. They go back to inform him.
Yes.
There was somebody, one of the officers, that while I was in Port Harcourt, I called him. Because anywhere, although I was, when I was PA, I did this, I wrote this, even what the man presented, I was the one who did it. And when once you are known like that, any issue you bring, your boss will see you in that light. So never outshine your boss. Never. If you do anything, you know, as much as you are working on that, that's why you are there. And if you give him, he will be so proud of you. And when he makes a presentation, he will not say no. He was so looking for me. I made that presentation. That's what. So please, if I know you are the kind of person that when you want to talk to me, you bring me down as if I don't know anything. There's no way I will take anything you tell me. So that's one thing.
As if you are lying.
Yes, because let me tell you, there was an issue we had, and somebody stood up, I think it was in the class. I said that there was a decision MPA took once. I was the one who wrote that paper when I was in PA. And I just gave it to Edie, Edie presented it in the class.
That's amazing.
So for such a person, me saying him, once you come, I know. In fact, there's nothing you tell me around myself. Because I know tomorrow you can't tell me. So that's one thing we have to be very careful. Thank you.
So I'm just gonna wrap that one up with one simple story. I do have a lot of Les Brown stories because he mentored. I was lucky to be one of the few he mentored directly. Now he talked about one time when he went home to his wife and like, that's my Oga. The guy doesn't know anything. Look at him, he thinks he knows everything. And he was ranting and complaining like most of us do. And the wife looked at him and said, if he doesn't know anything like you say, how is he the one signing your paycheck? Sometimes we assume the people above us don't know. But they didn't get there just by luck or just by influencing. At the very least, they knew how to influence. At the very least, they knew how to manipulate someone else to get there. It means there was something they did right that they know how to do that got them there. And if you want to get there where they are, it's not by trying to cut them down, it's by learning what they did right that got them there. And that's what we keep missing. Sometimes intelligence, knowledge will not get you to where you want to get to in life. You're going to learn how to influence. Now, unfortunately, in this part of the world, yeah, all of us like Oga Madam, and sometimes when you're respecting of people, they'll step on you. But the fact of the matter is, what I've come to learn is, you step on me doesn't make me shorter, taller, fatter. But I also know as a person where I draw the line. You know what you want with decision making. The first thing is you set your goal, what you want for yourself. Yeah, you want to achieve this and you're going. But when you now realize that, oh, this stepping on you no longer is going to give you what you want, you draw the line. But as long as you're still on track to that thing which you want, in fact, let me tell you one thing. In all of my experience with human beings, people tend to listen to you when you draw them in and make them relevant. That Oga you think that doesn't know anything, you think he's not listening to you. I promise you to walk them and say, Oga, I want you to be my mentor. That relationship has changed. Oga, come and mentor me. I want you to be my mentor. Train me on X, Y, Z. Just give what belongs to Caesar to Caesar. That relationship has changed. Wow. It will be like magic.
Good morning, Mr. My experience shows that almost 90% of the people who became big men in NPA and every other place worked under some people at a point in time. They were PAs to some people. They were secretaries to some people. Whatever you claim you have done for them, they have done for another person before you. And they have done better because at the time they did what they did. The kind of knowledge you have at your fingertips now, they don't have. The kind of resources you have at your fingertips, they don't have. So what are you taking glory for? We all know that this is the tradition in the workplace. There is the principle of 80-20 everywhere. Everywhere you go, the probability is that only 20% of the people there work and they work. You work for the 80% that are there. And whenever and wherever you are chosen and given a responsibility, it is not because you are better than all the other people. It is just because somebody has to do that job and you are chosen to do it. Yes. So the earlier you have this frame of mind, the better perspective you will have. Thank you.
All right. I want to draw attention to three very important things. When we started, we kept hearing people reacting that it's not working, they are not listening. When we finish on this topic of psychology today, or decision making, all those walls must fall apart. The first wall that must fall apart is for you to know that we don't all reason the same way. And don't ever try to make another person reason like you. It's not working at home with your wife or husband. It's not working with your children. Every child is even different. Yes. You can't use the same approach. Then when you now get to the office, you want to use one approach for all the staff. You want to use it for your boss. The first thing this section is telling you is that we all think differently and we feel differently. If we must work together as a group, we must apply these principles here. We must come to a consensus. We must hear our view. We must eventually express our experiences and come to a common goal. This is the key point I must first say. The second thing is, this section we are doing should be able to let you know the things that are influencing the way we think and the way we feel. Alright? I have looked at, I gave a slide to tell you that not being well can influence it. But the next slide I'm going to tell you your natural composition, the way you were made. It's the reason why the way you reason and think and feel the way you feel. You can't change yourself, but you can improve on yourself, isn't it? You can't just become another person, but you can grow, you can improve. That's why we are here. The third component is, if you're able to assimilate those two things I have said, you can use it to help those with you, those under you, and those above you when you are interacting with them in decision making. I should be able to know the psychology of my boss and know how to present my case. If I don't present it well, I'm giving a recommendation to somebody whose psychology is contrary to what I'm recommending. The natural answer you will get is a no, isn't it? Then you start telling the boss, I gave you the right thing to do. You are working against his mind and his emotions, and you are expecting him to decide against himself. And those who put it there believe in him. They would rather sacrifice you than to sacrifice the president.
So let me put this in a simple way. In every establishment you find yourself, your success in the workplace in order to get results from the top is predominantly dependent on your ability to be able to influence those at the top. It takes us to a different topic, influencing. And you cannot influence people when you don't understand them. Some people just want to be called Oga. Some people are influenced by you doing your job and doing it right. People are influenced by different things. So it's important and it's easy because your Oga, as they say, the higher you go, the less you go up there. So the people you need to study and understand becomes fewer and fewer. So all you just need is take out the time, put the pride behind this person. I want to understand this person. And if you can do that, your life will be a lot easier. It's a lot easier. I've had instances where I was fighting with people in the office. And as a matter of fact, let me just make it clear. You cannot fight with your guy in the office and succeed.
Why? And go away on you will succeed though.
You cannot go on a straight out battle. You can't go on a straight out battle and succeed. Because even if the matter goes to HRO, and then they control HRO. And the HRO head wants to keep her job or his job. So you, especially in this environment, let's be honest, this environment,
that's a private company. That's a private company.
Even in London, where I'm coming from, let me tell you this one now. You will fight your organ. What will happen is they will find something to nail you to for insubordination. And after they nail you, they will still fire the organ, but there will be no winner. They say where 20 fans fight and the ground is suffer. The company will do away with the boss, because you're bringing them problem and you're exposing them to lawsuit. So the boss too will learn, but you too they go because insubordination. So the question is, what are you trying to achieve? Because sometimes you need to call truce and say, see, let's see how this thing will go. See, I had one situation recently and I was talking to my boss. I told my boss, see, if you do this, I will do this. And if you do this, I will do that. This is what will end the game of chess. All we can do is we both shake hands right now. You cash me out and walk out. You tell me, say, no, that you're a smart boy. The money will be in your account next week. Everybody walk out. I could have been engaged in fighting, say, I will sue you guys, I will do this. I feel win the case of war. I will wait the next 6 months on useless legal stuff. And yes, you know, why would you do that to yourself? Yes. So sometimes you have to be smart and say, okay, off the camera, let's discuss. You be human being and be human being. And they will understand, speak the language you understand. This is what's going to happen. The company wants this. I can't change that. But I can engage the company in wasting money and give them bad press and bad name. So what will we go to? It is within your power to approve this. Because if you don't do that, they do this out. It's just a game of chess. Understand what you have hold in your hand. Know the limit of your power before you go into any battle. No, go be like Russia. We don't get enough weapons. You go start fighting. You don't fight.
All right, you're welcome. There's a third component I want to bring out. We have to run on this. We didn't start here. The point I want to bring out now, third component is, at the end of this session, your main focus should be where you are occupied as an office. Don't take responsibility for those roles that are above you. At best, from our interactions now, try to understand their psychology and influence them based on the teacher I recommend to them. But whatever we are deciding now, whatever is on your table and you are in charge of, implement it. Take decisions at your level. And those who are with you at the same path, influence them. Okay, let them work with the same mindset that you are developing to make MBA productive, more productive. I use the word more because it's already productive. All right. Why can I say that? I don't know the assessment. But if it was not productive, people will not be here. That is the truth. You just want it better. Then you are in charge. There are people under you. Take charge and make sure that you motivate them to do something. Because the discouragement I hear here is because you are attempting to break up and it's not working from up. Why not work at your own level and below your level where you are in charge than to try to go where others are in charge and try to change them? If you understand their psychology, you can influence them. But at the level we are teaching you now, decision we are interacting with you is decision we are talking about. Decision at your level which will influence those with you and those below. We can at best, like I agree with you, take some recommendation from this interaction to the next level which you may not be able to do. But it will be a recommendation. Okay? That's influencing. Yes. So I move to the next slide very quickly. We have to round off now. Now, we call it basic analysis. It's in your book. We have agreed that we don't all reason the same way. And we have agreed that group decision for what we have analyzed is better than individual decision. How do you compose that group? It means that we need to use each person's psychology to know where to place them as a stakeholder in decision making. So the RASI analysis is actually selecting persons based on their psychology of decision making to know where to place them. And so when we assemble a group, in that group, we should be able to determine those who will take responsibility for decisions. We should be able to know those who will be accountable for decisions. We should be able to know those who we can consult and those we can inform about the decision. Now, in the initial introduction, we were able to show you that the moment a decision is taken, the next stage for you to implement a decision is to make people know the decision, communicate it, and then let the stakeholders join in planning and implementing that decision. And then you evaluate the implementation, that is, review it. The problem is that some stakeholders, if you didn't use this principle, you may have placed them as those you are going to inform, whereas they were supposed to be among those who have taken that decision. To now get their support to implement becomes a problem. They will not be raising issues that the group who took that decision did not know about. And those issues are so valid that it nullifies the decision that have been taken above them. Therefore, if the right thing was done to select using the RAS analysis to know that this particular stakeholder is not at the level of information or consultation, is at the level of being directly responsible for that decision. You should have carried that person. Even if, you see, we can be taking a decision and you go to one HOD like in account. There is a boss that is in charge of accounting, but you can just pick one person. Sometimes you take ICT person who can sit down with management as they are doing and type the laptop and tell us read data as we are there to guide us decision. They say no, I can be very junior person. Be in a meeting where overall bosses are there. When they have finished their decision, when the decision gets to ICT, they will tell you that the data, the finance of grant does not support what you have decided. You have failed. Because there was somebody who have been in that team that was not called in when the decision was being taken. Alright? So, based on this, we can select the stakeholders and we can make them know that they have our attention. Because once you pick people at the level you are picking them, you have already gotten their attention and you can be sure that you can go to implementation. Now, I want to attempt to place people where they are in the strata of the decision. And I said all of us, but at different levels. As we agree, there's top management, there's HOD level, and there are those who will take instruction from the HOD, isn't it? But somehow, just look at this. depending on the scale of the decision, sponsors are accountable for that decision, and executives are responsible for that decision. Those who are going to supply are consulted, and the workers are informed. That's the level. But there is another level of decision here where the people that are accountable is the executive, and the people that are responsible is the stakeholders, is the shareholders, and the people you are supposed to consult or inform is the union that are going to maybe workers union, and the workers that will be meant to be informed. You see that we have a rational analysis, but it depends on the level of decision you are dealing with. All right. Next slide. There is a brain theory, the Amos brain theory, that tells us the natural build-up of the brain for every individual that determines the components that help us to take decisions. I'm not going to go into neuroanatomy. I'm going to make it like every one of us. We know that the brain is in the head, isn't it? And we know that anatomically this is right side, this is left side, isn't it? And this is on top, and that is under. Finish. You don't need to know anything about how the brain is. Am I making sense? I like it, I like that. The doctors appreciate it more. This theory, don't take it as perfect, it's just a theory, isn't it? But it's a guide. In this theory, you use the upper side of the brain, which is the left side of the brain, the cerebrum, as a familiar part that helps you to be realistic when you are taking decisions. The left side for realistic decision taking. The right side for idealistic decision taking. The up for thinking, and the down for to take actions. That's the components that influence decisions based on the brain makeup. Now you are expected, if we break it down more, the upper side of the leg is actually a logical or analytical part in that being realistic, take a decision. While the lower left side is actually the part that helps you to organize it. Okay? The lower right side is the emotions, the feelings, while the upper right side is the visions, the ability to capture, imagine the things that you have decided about. Are we still together? I should have shown you the page in your book. Is there? Okay? I move to the next slide. Now that we know that the brain, every part of the brain play a role in the way we think and feel and take decisions. We all have brain, but the whole part of the brain, not all parts are very developed or functional. Let me use that. The brain is there, but you're not able to use all the parts effectively. Now, from this, it means that for one person to be able to take a decision, he must have all the parts working well. And very rarely you see one person that have the capacity to run all the parts of the brain. Most times, as individuals are varying. That's how we have an advantage in one side over the other. Therefore, if you are going to pick people for decision making, or you are constituting a committee, you should have studied the psychology of the people you are dealing with and select them accordingly, so that when you form a group to take decision, make sure that those who are realistic are there, those who have the ideas are there, and those who can think and those who can act are there. If not, if everybody are realistic, we will end up having one side to a decision that will never, by the time we execute it, it doesn't make sense. So, I'll take a bit
Prof, sorry, I know we're hungry and we'll go tea break in a few minutes, but Prof, I've got a question for you on the other one. Usually I contribute for. Let me show you a couple. If you go back one slide, we know the brain has 4 sections and they all do contribute from a decision-making point of view. But realistically, we've seen people whose decision-making is very emotional. Does that mean that the logical aspect isn't working? Or people who are very logical and they don't consider other people's feeling in making decisions? Does that mean that their emotion is not working? Or how does this, I just make decisions?
All right, let me, medically speaking, there is always a dominant side in the brain. Are you following me? many of us are using right hand, while some of us are using left hand. It's not just a choice. It's oftentimes related to the dominant side of your brain. That's what selected you to be using to be right-handed or left-handed. The same way with the way we think. So part of your brain are more developed. They are more. When I use the word dominant, does it make sense? Or you use it better than you use the other part. So the person who took decision actually took all these components into consideration, but one part won in the decision making he made. He may have taken a decision absolutely by the dominant effect or contribution of his emotion. And if you study somebody over time, you know discover that this person is always emotional in his decision. You understand? The way they are dealing with that person knows that this is an emotional person. Don't go and be complaining, why can't he reason? I should have reasoned it out. When you know that this person naturally will allow emotion to suppress the reasoning part.
Put them in good mood first.
So you will now, first of all, if you are making that is more of influencing. But before influencing, if you are making a recommendation, you must do a recommendation that will appeal to his emotions. To win him. No man said that it's a realistic thing to do. You are a reality. The man is not a realistic person. You are failed. You will add emotion, garnish it, but the reality is inside. But sorry. That's good. Remember that when we're talking about relationship, I talked about emotional intelligence, but I also told you that I was not mandated to go into details. But I just told you that emotional intelligence is for you to be able to understand your feelings and take control and handle your feelings. And so if you have a high emotional intelligence, it's for you to be able to understand other people's feelings and be able to manage them. That is some right I can put it. Now you are a person calling to a committee to make a recommendation. And you are not the final person taking a decision. You go and present everything that is very rational. Meanwhile, you know your boss is a very sentimental person, very emotional. The person will say, what is all this? He won't even have the patience to reason with you whatever is that on you. When I start explaining how do you identify emotion, how do you identify rational, is in the next slide. I will show it to you. Then you will realize that oftentimes our systems are not working because we are just doing professional, the right thing. The relationship component is still there. And we will deal with relationship component in decision making. Alright? Can we? Alright. So, if you can give us the power. I want to move quickly. You want to make comments? I want to move quickly because we are running against time. But I will tell you, within me, I don't feel like rushing at this point. I will tell you that everything we've been doing from Monday, this is a nucleus of everything. Whatever you take from the air, you could throw it away because you think it won't work. But we should be able to show you how you can use it. And that's what we are doing in this section. We are saying if you have a sound mind and you have a decision taking, how do you convey that decision? Even the people that are under you that you are going to instruct, you know that you have to know the person you are instructing. If you are so logical to the person you are instructing, you will not implement what you ask. Not going to implement that thing. But if you are an emotional person, you can appeal to his emotion and still support it with the facts. So, you want to make a comment? Please go ahead. Alright, so I'm going to round off on this and then we'll take a break so that we'll not stretch it too much. The point I want to raise on this is, by the time we put together the emotional makeup of individuals, we can now know what to do when we are setting up a group, a team, a committee. We must make sure that people who have advantages in each area are represented in that committee. And of course, I've said it's possible. Like, let me go back one step. We agree that when we are talking psychology, it's an individual thing we are doing. So when we use the word group dynamics, it means that we are putting together a group to operate together based on their varied psychology, isn't it? To take a decision. But actually, what you are running, you are actually pulling together different individual dynamics. Because within an individual, different components are running. And some individuals bring a particular dominant component to the group, while others bring, as we are sitting here, like even the way some of us are presenting and talking, it shows that we all have different components played out. All right? I will now say, let's now look at each individual, what their psychology will bring to the table in final decision making. Okay? What plays out based on their psychology? What plays out, number one, is the rational component, is the political component, and is the emotional component. Because it is related, I will just push this slide. So if I say there's a rational component, there's an emotional component, what does it mean? This slide tells us that when a decision, a group dynamic is in place for a decision to be taken, the emotional component can be identified by these questions being asked. What will I get out of this? What will be the impact on my life? Imagine you are making a budget and you are saying how you are going to roll the bill. So when the people are pushing the document through, and inside that document and they are looking at it, they are also looking at the inside.
What
Is it phone?
Maybe somebody's phone.
Should be a phone.
It's somebody's phone.
Should be a phone. Is it a phone?
Yes.
So, because I'll close with this slide. The next is the rational component. What will it cost and what is the benefit of this decision? Will it work and how long will it take? That's being rational in taking a final decision. For the person that is political, will I look good in the organization if I support this? Will it advance my career? Will they give me promotion if I join them to take this decision? That decision, it does not matter the cost. As long as I will be promoted, I will join the group to take that decision. Even if the group, the organization will not benefit, I will benefit politically from it. So this is how you recognize this component. With this, I will stop. When we come back, we'll just take your opinion on this and move forward. Let's take a break. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.